The original Allman Brothers Band, really one of the most groundbreaking bands in rock history. Vitamin ABB, trust me, I'm a doctor.
That band stays together for a little over 2 years, including their inadvertent stay here in town. And in October of 1971, right as the album At Fillmore East is coming out, Duane is killed in a motorcycle accident. 1 year and 11 days later, 1 year and 13 days later, Barry Oakley is killed in a similar event right around the corner from where Duane was killed. And the story of the band for me is a story of resilience. So I have a blog called Long Live the ABB, and I write about this stuff all the time. I'm one of those nerds, thinks about it all the time. But the fact for me is why we're here and why we continue to be here is the albums, the music they put out, but also that they continued going after their two leaders had died. So it's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band, sold millions of albums, more or less stayed together for 45 years, had a bitter divorce with Dickie Betts in 2000, but has created a legacy for Southern music. Out of this comes the genre that we call Southern rock that becomes extremely popular in the 1970s. They really led the way for all of this. So it is, one of the most significant bands in American history, certainly of their era and of their generation. They led the Southern counterculture and the charge for Southern music.
And the fact that the band continued on, and that's for me, for Bob, as I approached this story, that was something that really resonated with me. Was they had this tragic loss in 1971. So Duane Allman died right as things started taking off. He was 24 years old. His brother Greg was 23 years old. And they kept going, and it's always amazed me. It's given me a lot to think about in my own life. When
the band didn't die on October 29th, 1971, when Duane died. They didn't go out as a tribute act and play the hits, quote unquote, adding new people to recreate Duane's parts, and then later Barry's parts, etc. But like a good jazz ensemble, like the Benny Goodman Orchestra, or even Miles Davis, who didn't really have a steady band, they just kept adding new talent, and they let the talent do what they wanted to. And that kept the music from growing stale. There's a really long tail. Duane's legacy is the Allman Brothers Band. It's not just at Fillmore East. The band outlived him for 43 years.
Here's me recounting where I realized the Allman Brothers Band was a living, breathing entity. November 13th, 1993 at the South Florida Fairgrounds.
Expecting, because it's at the fairgrounds, that I'm going to see a nostalgia act. I'm expecting to go in there and see a bunch of old people playing the hits with a couple of new members. And I left a lifelong fan. I was so blown away, Sebastian. It would be the same if you were to go see Tedeschi Trucks Band today, and you'd be like, oh my God, they're still doing this? Right. It didn't stop. I was so blown away. I immediately drove to the record store the next day and bought a compilation album of live cuts from another era, just because I was like, they have to be great. And, it was like, if they're this good now, and I just kept seeing them there. So that's probably, one of my favorite ones of them, was seeing them live for the first time and experiencing it and realizing, oh, this isn't over. And not even realizing it at the time, at the point I hadn't even thought about, dreamt up doing it.